Welcome. In this video, I'll reveal how to upgrade a Sentinel ship to any supercharged layout you want, and increase the damage, shields, hyperdrive, and maneuverability stats without save editing your game file. This is the Service Bot Reskin upgrade, and it can transform any ship into its most perfect or better than perfect form. It works for anyone with a multiplayer connection who can join or be joined by other players in the game. This quote-unquote upgrade, as I'm referring to it, requires exploiting a multiplayer glitch condition which has been present in the game for years. For most players that have experienced this rare glitch, it's been an inexplicable accidental occurrence, swapping the exterior of their ship for some other random ship. What happened, and how do I get my ship back, they ask? Instead of suffering this anomalous occurrence accidentally, we'll harness this powerful exploit to purposefully change the appearance or layout of an Interceptor ship in our favor. In short, and to simplify the idea, we're going to upgrade this beautiful Interceptor, I'm naming the White Raptor, with the layout and stats of another ship. So, if you get distressed about the idea of using glitches, frustrated about spending an extra few minutes to improve your stats or layout, feel there is a certain level of fairness that must be adhered to in this non-competitive game, or don't want to trust me and feel I'm leading you to some shady doom, that is totally fine, but to avoid getting unnecessarily upset, you won't want to watch any further, and I want to thank you for your time. For those that are interested in having the ship you always wanted, please continue watching. Every procedurally generated item in this game, including most ships, excluding Expedition or Special Edition ships, has a seed code which will look something like this, that tells the game how to put together that item. For a ship, the seed code identifies the parts, the colors, the textures, the stats based on the ship build, the internal bonus stats, the inventory and supercharged layout, and the procedural name. And because this question is often asked, no, unfortunately, you cannot decode seeds and create a customized seed with the perfect colors and parts you want. You can, however, use Mjstral's No Man's Sky Customizer web app to search through his database of 8.5 billion Interceptor seeds and find an existing seed code for a ship with the parts, colors, and textures you're wanting. This tool is how the White Raptor was first discovered by user Alt F4 2 years ago. While the external appearance of the ship is mostly fixed, the base stats, ship class, and supercharged layout of the ship can be changed. We see this routinely when salvaging crashed Sentinel interceptors. Every dissonant system has only one Sentinel interceptor seed code. The one I'm showing here is just for an example of a salvaged interceptor, but it's the same ship all over the planet, or in some cases planets of a dissonant system. However, the stats and supercharged layout can be different. Why? How? Well, that's because Hello Games utilizes the location of the crash site to determine the stats and layout, overwriting the original seed stats and supercharged layout for the Sentinel interceptors. So what we want to do is also overwrite the stats and supercharged layout of a ship. I'm showing a ship here with a scattered layout and bottom level stats, and we'll do that with another ship, represented here with a powerful, focused, 4-square layout and top-level stats. In effect, we're reskinning one ship with the other to create a hybrid Super Sentinel Interceptor. And to hopefully reduce confusion, let's call these two ships the internal ship and the external ship. Our final reskin hybrid ship will have the appearance of the external ship without the scattered layout or poor stats, and have the focused layout and top-level stats of the internal ship, discarding whatever its current appearance is. The stats you see to the right here are the bonus stats unique to each ship, which are important, but you aren't typically familiar with these unless you use a save editor. Now, I'm not a tech genius, so I can't describe exactly how this multiplayer glitch occurs at the code level, but functionally, if you're in multiplayer, under certain conditions, a duplicate phantom ship can be generated. This duplicate is like an empty skin or ghost of a ship, which can be used to reskin your current ship. Up until recently, there were a few ways to do this with a friend, but Hello Games has seemingly updated the way multiplayer interactions are handled, and now only one very simple way to do this remains, and that way is by using the No Man's Sky Service Bot. Looking at what happens in the game file after this process, the internal ship slot gets its resources, being the scene file which tells the game what type of ship to display, fighter, bioship, sentinel, etc., and ship seed overwritten by the external phantom ship. However, this will affect only the external appearance for that ship slot, leaving all the inventory aspects, such as unlocked slots, ship class, bonus stats, cargo, installed technology modules, and supercharged slots of the internal ship in place. Effectively, the external ship seed info is merged to that of the internal ship. The merged Reskin hybrid ship will thus remain in the same ship slot as the original internal ship. I'll be showing two internal ships to use, and the first one is a salvaged Sentinel Interceptor with great stats and a focused 4-square supercharged layout. This 4-square type of layout is great for focusing all your power to one system, such as the weapons to generate maximum damage, or the engine to maximize maneuverability. Speed is a different matter, which I'll cover in another video. Certainly not every player prefers this layout, and there are a handful that even seem to resent it and will enthusiastically describe to you their feelings and opinions on why it's overrated, so you can certainly use a different Sentinel internal ship that fits your preferences. But many players do want the option of a 4-square ship, so that's what I'm using in this demonstration. You can find the 4-square Sentinel Interceptor here. Be sure to arrive at the site with multiplayer turned off, preventing others that may concurrently be in the same system from taking the ship while in your shared game lobby. The ship is directly and indirectly surrounded by several bases that will prevent you from claiming it. You will need to report these bases to Hello Games in order to disappear them from your game immediately and then claim the ship. The first base is the one surrounding the ship at the salvage site. The second base is on a nearby hilltop, at least as of the time this video is being made. You'll need to go to the hilltop site to report the base. And when you've completed the report, you'll notice that the ship disappears. Don't worry, if you create a restore point now and reload, the ship will reappear, and this time it can be claimed. It is a B class at the salvage site with incomplete inventory slots. Fly the ship to a star base, upgrade the class to S, and unlock all the inventory slots. You're going to soon be glitching 2 Sentinels together. Switching your difficulty to creative or custom to upgrade the Sentinel for free is entirely appropriate in my opinion. However you choose to manage it, once you've upgraded the internal Sentinel Interceptor, park it within the anomaly and walk to the Service Bot specified landing pad. Do not park on the Service Bot landing pad. There is often some confusion about this, so to hopefully avoid creating a mistaken assumption, you are not reskinning your ship by placing another ship directly on top of it. That's just not how it works. So if you park on the Service Bot landing pad, the bot cannot land on it to deliver your reskinned ship. If others are there, it's no problem though. To use the Service Bot, you need to first add the Service Bot as a friend, which allows it to join your game lobby and deliver a ship to you. Go to Network Settings, ensure multiplayer is enabled, anyone can join your group, and cross-platform connection is enabled. Then add the Service Bot's friend code, displayed here. It is helpful to create a restore point and restart your game after adding the Service Bot to your friends list. Next, claim a free member or patron subscriber membership from Patreon, and there's a link to that here on the Service Bot page. The free membership will grant you 4 uses monthly, and subscriber memberships begin with 48 uses monthly. Once you've added your membership and are logged in through Patreon, go back to the Service Bot page, click Login, and allow it to connect the Service Bot to your Patreon membership information. Now you have an internal Sentinel Interceptor, and you're ready to use the ship delivery service. I'll be getting the White Raptor external interceptor delivered by NPC to begin with so we can see the original stats for later comparison. I go to nomansapp.com, choose Ship Delivery Service, add my friend code, click the boxes verifying I've added the service bot as a friend and made the appropriate network settings changes. I choose the type of ship I want delivered, add the seed code, and then select my delivery options. I'm getting this delivered by NPC. The S-Class option that's checked by default here will typically re-roll the stats to values which are always higher than those of the original ship. And so I, solely for the purpose of comparison, am unchecking that option and getting the lower class version which, upgraded, will show the natural stats for this ship. That's just for this video though. To compare stats with the reskin ships, you don't need to get this ship delivered in this way. Now you see the service bot join my lobby and the ship pops in and takes off immediately. That happened because I'm not standing close enough to the landing pad. If I was closer, that wouldn't happen. But that's okay because there are 2 NPCs which are generated from which I can purchase the ship. Again, this particular delivery is for comparison only. I'm going to enter and exit my internal interceptor here so I can now switch ships for my newly acquired B-Class Natural Stat White Raptor Interceptor. This is one of the best looking interceptors out there that we've found. Pure white, fangs, upper wings, lower legs, side wings, shard skirts, side engines, glowing face, 13 engine lights. It's quite literally a 1 in 3.3 trillion seed ship, discovered using Mjstral's No Man's Sky Customizer web app. The odds of ever finding this ship in-game are nearly impossible. Next I'll fly it to a station and upgrade it to S-Class. These are the unamazing natural S-Class stats for the White Raptor Interceptor. But let's get on to upgrading this ship with the service bot. If it's not already your active ship in the anomaly, summon the 4-square Sentinel internal ship that you're about to reskin. Again, you're not on the service bot landing pad, not. On a separate device, go to nomansapp.com, choose Ship Delivery, enter your friend code, check the boxes, choose Interceptor, and enter the seed for this beautiful White Raptor. Now choose the reskin option for delivery, and click Start. The bot will join your game and drop the external reskin ship onto the service bot landing pad, regardless of whatever else is on that pad. Approach the pad and interact with the ship to claim it. On the ship inventory screen, the ship is now a 4-square with higher stats. Here's the original for comparison. Pretty good, right? But how good? Well, I can show you what reskinning yields using a Sentinel Interceptor with the highest stats in the game. This is that ship. It has perfect part stats and perfect internal bonus stats. This will give us a truly perfect reskin for comparison. Another reskin request is made to the service bot. The White Raptor external interceptor appears on the service bot landing pad, and I'm reskinning the highest stat interceptor with it. These are perfect stats for the White Raptor, and here's the comparison between the original, this perfect stat interceptor, and the salvaged 4-square. You can see that the salvaged 4-square values are very close to perfect, and someday we may find more interceptors with even better stats to use as internal ships. This 4-square Sentinel internal ship is the most perfect free ship I can currently offer. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to share the seed code for the perfect stat interceptor used here, as that ship belongs to Mjstral. But how about instead, I show you a way to get better than perfect stats on your interceptor. The second internal ship option is the most recent Starborn Phoenix, as delivered by the service bot, which offers a different high-stat 4-square seed than the original ship. This is the absolute best upgrade you could give any Sentinel Interceptor, as it has a hybrid bonus of both exotic and fighter stats when delivered by the service bot. And this option is available only to users with a Patreon subscriber membership. Choose NPC delivery and ensure both S-Class and Supercharged Slots Connected options are enabled. Your in-game character needs to be right next to the landing pad to prevent the ship from flying off immediately and giving you only 2 ship opportunities through the NPCs that remain. So first, claim the ship directly by interacting with the ship itself. Someone's Starborn runner is on the pad, which can make accessing our ship with the same form challenging, but if you walk around the ships enough, you can almost always find an access point. After claiming the ship on the pad, go to the NPCs and claim what they're offering. It does help to be in creative mode or have something like 50 million units. When delivered by the service bot using the NPC delivery option, every delivery can give you 3 potential ship purchases with random damage stats. If you have the luxury of several requests, you might want to try several deliveries. Now that I've claimed the 3 ships, I'm going to enter and exit the ship on the pad to lock in my purchases and then cycle through the ships to take a closer look at their stats. This first ship is exactly what we are aiming for with a near-perfect damage stat. The internal damage bonus is nearly 90 here, and you can't get higher than 90. This is random though, so you won't get this every time. It's like a blind box delivery, but so far I've been able to find at least 1 super high damage stat within 10 deliveries. Second ship, not so great. Damage bonus is 74, though still better than the original Starborn Phoenix, which has 72. Third ship is very decent with damage bonus of 84. Sentinel internal bonus damage stats have a range from 60 to 80, so you'll want to use a Starborn with damage higher than that, between 81 and 90, and this is what that range would look like on the ship. This is 80, and this is 90. Only the damage bonus actually changes, and even though you may see other stats changing for the shields, hyperdrive, and maneuverability during purchase, just ignore those as those will revert to the higher values of the service bot 4-squared seed upon reload. Resummon the highest stat Starborn Phoenix, fly it to a station, and unlock all the inventory slots. There's the 4-square. You have your second internal ship and are now ready to reskin the Starborn internal with the white Raptor external in exactly the same way we did before. Except notice on this graphic that the final hybrid has only exotic technology. This occurs on initial reskin, but if you create a restore point and reload, the Sentinel technology will spawn in. And once you leave the anomaly and reload on a planet, the exotic technology will drop out and only Sentinel technology will forever remain. This would also be a great time to duplicate the high-stat Starborn internal using a new expedition and fill the 18 slots in your freighter Starship archive with this ship for future reskins. Once you're ready to reskin the Starborn internal ship with a white Raptor or some other Interceptor seed, park the Starborn on the anomaly, not on the service bot landing pad, and open nomansapp.com on another device's browser. Choose Ship Delivery, enter your friend code, check the boxes verifying your network settings are compatible with the service bot, select Sentinel Interceptor, enter the seed code for the external ship, select Reskin, and click Start. The service bot will join your lobby within seconds and drop the external Reskin Interceptor on the service bot landing pad. Approach the ship and interact with it to reskin your Starborn internal with the Interceptor. On initial reskin, the technology modules will remain those of the Starborn Phoenix, but once you reload, Sentinel technology will spawn in. and there's the core Sentinel technology modules. And reloading again off the anomaly on planet will allow the Starborn modules to disappear completely and the Sentinel cannon to now make its appearance as well. There's the Sentinel cannon. Now you can arrange the technology however you want. The conversion is complete, and you have a glitch-free, smoothly running Sentinel Interceptor with some of the best stats in the game. Here is a comparison between the original White Raptor, the salvaged 4-square reskin, the highest stat Interceptor reskin, and the Starborn reskin. Maneuverability takes a single point decrease between the highest stat Interceptor and the Starborn because the Starborn Service Bot seed, even as great as it is, does not have 100% perfect maneuverability bonus, yet all other stats are significantly higher. However, the highest stat Interceptor was only something I used to compare the other reskins against. And remember how I mentioned that there are part stats and internal bonus stats. The internal bonus stats will transfer on a reskin, but the overall stats will also depend on the part stats as well, and these do not transfer over. These part stats only include damage and maneuverability. Damage, though, is fairly negligible on the order of 0 to 4 points. This explains why you will see little damage point shifts between different Sentinel reskins, whereas the maneuverability is significantly associated with the external part build of the ship. On an Interceptor, its range is from 245 to 302.5, and the highest maneuverability is only possible if you have an Interceptor with the narrow cockpit style. So if we compare the numbers between the original highest stat Sentinel and the White Raptor reskin of the highest stat Sentinel, you'll see that there is a significant difference in maneuverability. So when reskinning, you're perfecting what is possible for the external Interceptor you're working with, and some external ship builds will produce higher end maneuverability than others. Mjstral and I have provided you with the seed code for the White Raptor Interceptor within this video, but what if you want to use a different seed? Maybe one with a different appearance or higher part maneuverability. If you want to customize your own unique Dream Sentinel, such as these examples, you can use Mjstral's No Man's Sky Customizer at nms.center. We also have thousands of free Interceptor seeds on the No Man's Sky Creative and Sharing Hub Discord server. And if you already have an Interceptor you have a personal connection with and want to use, like, say you had this Batwing Interceptor which is found by Master Ship Hunter Fry Ninja, there is a seed query service on nomansapp.com which will analyze whichever ship you have parked on the anomaly and will provide you with its seed code that you can then use for reskinning, just as I used the White Raptor code in this video. I previously mentioned duplicating the Starborn internal ship using a new unstarted expedition. If you're unfamiliar with this process, you simply need to ensure the Starborn internal is parked on the anomaly when you start an expedition, and it's helpful to have a few stacks of something like Hylian brains in your expedition cargo, which can be processed quickly into several thousand nanites. This will allow you to copy the Starborn internal to your expedition save. Begin the expedition. And once you've completed the first phase of the expedition, you'll summon the anomaly and enter it. The expedition kiosk will allow you to copy the Starborn internal to your expedition for 2800 nanites. Retrieve your Hylian brains from the kiosk. Go down to a planet and process them in the portable refiner. After you've processed and claimed the required nanites, return to the anomaly, copy your Starborn internal over to the expedition save, which will make it your active ship in the anomaly, and then return to your main save. Now make a detour to your freighter. Hello Games will not allow you to copy or create a ship from the expedition, such as the Starborn internal which you already have in your main Starship inventory. However, you can archive your current Starborn internal within your freighter to remove it from your main Starship inventory. After doing this, go back to the Expedition kiosk and duplicate a new Starborn internal. Now repeat that process again and again, flying your Starborns to your freighter, archiving them, then creating new ones until your freighter archive is filled. This concludes part 1 of the Service Bot Reskin upgrade tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it and/or found it useful. Please visit and subscribe to the No Man's Sky Unlimited Reddit page. And subscribe to my channel so you can be notified of upcoming videos. Don't miss out and enjoy the journey, travelers.